Allie.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, I'm Julie. I'm going to be your student physical therapist assistant today. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so I hear we're getting fitted for a wheelchair today. Is that right?
Yes.
Awesome. So are you excited about that?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, it'll help you get around a little bit easier, right?
That's true.
So before we get started, I just have a couple questions. Have you ever used a wheelchair or any other type of assistive device before, like a cane or a walker?
I had a walker for a little bit.
For a little bit, yeah.
I'm just declining, so they're putting me in a wheelchair.
Yeah. So this is probably probably going to be using it for a good while then, right? Okay. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and take some measurements.
Okay.
Just to ensure. Just to ensure that the wheelchair that we have for you is okay, and if not, how we can adjust it and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. You can just sit right there. You're doing great right there. First thing I'm going to measure is your leg length. And to do this, I'm going to measure from your heel up to your popliteal fold.
Okay.
Ideally, I would maybe have you take your shoes off, but I'm going to go ahead and use the bottom of your shoe because we're going to add 2 inches to it anyway, so it doesn't need to be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right here at the heel of your foot up to your popliteal fold, and it looks like you're at about 17 and a quarter inches. No, right about 17 inches. And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna add 2 inches, so that'll be about 19, and that's just to ensure that your feet aren't gonna be dragging on the floor, and that you'll have enough space that it won't be like bumping into anything that might be slightly raised up on the ground. So that's about 19 inches for your leg length. Now, we're going to measure seat depth. That just means how deep the seat goes this way. So we want to make sure that you have about 2 to 3 inches away from your popliteal fold so that the edge of the seat isn't running into that area right in the back of your knee, because that could be really irritating. That can cause some pressure sores, maybe a rash and things like that. And we don't want that. So in order to measure that, we are going to go ahead and measure from the very back of your rear here up to your popliteal fold. So I'm going to put this right here up to your popliteal fold. And that looks about 17 and a half, just slightly longer, actually, or about 17 and a quarter. And for this one, we're going to take away 2 inches. So 17 and a quarter minus 2 inches would be 15 and a quarter. Good. Now, I want you to go ahead and put your legs together. There we go. And if you can just move your hands out to the side, I'm going to measure seat width. So that's how large the seat is going to be along your sides there. Okay. You want to make sure that you have some space in between the chair and your bottom and the sides of your thighs, just so you're not rubbing up against it. We don't want any type of pressure sores on your greater trochanters. So let me go ahead and eyeball this one. I'm going to go ahead from the widest part of your hips or thighs, which is about right here. And it looks like you are right at 13, which is very nice. Actually, even, 12 and a half. 12 and a half looks good. And what we're going to do is add 1.5 just to give that extra leg room in case you're wearing maybe like some bulkier clothing, things like that. So 1.5 inches plus 12.5 is going to be 14. There we go. So 14 inches for seat width. Now, 2 more things. I'm going to have you sit up as straight as you can. I'm going to measure the back height, which is just the backrest of the chair, just to see how tall that should go. And I measure that from your axilla area down to the seat that you're sitting on. Since you have kind of like a bulkier sweater, is it okay if I go ahead and feel for your armpit? Okay, perfect. So I'm going to put this right here, the 0 right at your axilla, and down to the seat. That is right about 17.5. What I'm going to do is take away 4 inches, so 13.5, because I want to make sure that the back of the seat is not, covering any part of your scapula. Because as you move that wheelchair, we want to give that scapula free range of motion so that it won't be rubbing up against that seat and giving you any type of rash or pressure sore or anything like that. It'll also help you move a lot more efficiently. So that was 14.5 for the back height. Now, for your elbows, this is our last measurement. I'm going to go ahead and have you sit up straight with your elbows at 90 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and feel for your olecranon process, which is right here on this side. And I'm just going to measure from here down to the table. If I can have you scoot just a tiny bit. Perfect. Thank you so much. And what I'm going to do is add 1 inch to this. So this is right at your olecranon, down to the table. And this is right about 9 inches. And I'm going to add 1 more inch, which is 10 inches. And that's just to make sure that your arms have a nice, comfortable bend. They're not too low, not too high. We don't want that scapular elevation or depression. We want you to sit nice and comfortable. So does that sound good? Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to bring over this wheelchair that we have set up already. And we will go ahead and see if these measurements work for you. So if you need some help, we'll go ahead and bring you over here. Good. You had a gait belt. Good. Very nice. Okay. So, looking at this wheelchair, it does not look like it fits you perfectly. First things first, if you want to scoot all the way back in the chair, good. Your feet are touching the ground, which shouldn't be too bad because with the leg rest, they'll be a little bit higher. But we probably want this to be slightly higher for you, just to give you that extra space down there. Your seat depth is definitely not good for you because look how close this is to your popliteal fold. I can't put 2 fingers in between. This is about 1 finger length. That's probably going to cause you some issues on the back of your knees. So we're definitely going to get this moved back a little bit. Now your armrests, it looks like you're kind of shrugging a little bit. Is that comfortable or you feel like your shoulders are a little high?
Feeling a little high.
Yeah, so I can kind of tell. So I think what we'd have to do is have to lower these armrests just a slight bit so your elbows are more relaxed along with your shoulders so you're not doing any type of elevation or depression. Mm-hmm. And what else? The seat width, let's see. Seat width looks about right. It could probably be even a little tighter if we wanted to. Let me see if you put your arms out onto the wheels. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. It could probably be a little tighter so you're not reaching all the way across. So yeah, we probably want to tighten that just a tiny little bit. And last but not least, I'm going to go ahead and turn you around and show your back height, which is not set right for you at all. If you can see right here, her inferior angle is all the way down here, which is underneath this backrest. That is not what we want. We would want it lower, maybe about down here so that her scapula is completely exposed so that she has full range of motion with all of that. So, Allie, I think we're going to have to get you a brand new chair. But now that we know all your measurements, now we know exactly what to do and how to fit you perfectly for your chair. And now what we're going to do is teach you how to move in the chair. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and head out to the hall, and I'll teach you some...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know I'll wheel you out there because you don't know how to yet. Mm. And then we'll teach you some good techniques, all right? All right. Okay, Allie, so looks like we have the chair all measured and ready for you. How does it feel?
Not too bad.
Good,
Not too
awesome.
bad.
Okay, so first thing, we're going to kind of teach you how to move around in it, if that's all right with you. And the first thing we're going to talk about is how to move the wheelchair, which is a great first step, right? So the first thing we're going to do is teach you how to use both your arms. So without any use of your legs, I want you to grab the rims on both sides of the wheels. Perfect, just like that. And to move forward, all you're going to do is push forward to those wheels. Perfect. Wow, just like that. And then if you want to move backwards, it's the exact opposite. You're going to pull on those rims, and that's going to pull you right back. Great job. Okay, watch out for that wall. Now, let's say we want to use one arm and one leg. We want to use the opposite ones, though, because that'll kind of help you turn. So let's use your left arm and your right leg. Okay, yes. So that arm's going to hold onto the rim, and this leg, there we go, is going to kind of propel you forward, right? So you can pull with your leg, push with your arm, just like that, and you can move just as smoothly as you did. Wow. If you want to move backward, go ahead and pull with your leg. Yeah, just like that. Awesome. And now, lastly, if you want to move just using your 2 legs without any use of your arms, you can go ahead and just dig your heels into the ground and kind of scoot yourself forward with both your legs. Wow. Just like that. Great job. And now backwards, go ahead and push out. There we go. And you're gonna move backwards just like that. That's great. So good. Okay, now to turn left and right. Basically what you wanna do is, we're just gonna be using our hands from now on. We're not gonna be using our legs anymore. We're gonna have both our hands on the handrails, or the wheel rails. And if you wanna turn left, just think, if you want to go one side, you're going to pull on that side. So if you want to go left, you're going to pull with your left arm and push with your right. So go ahead and do that at the same time.
Wow.
There we go. And you turned so nicely.
Wow.
Now, opposite for your right. You're going to pull with your right arm and push with your left.
Ooh,
Perfect.
Wow. Look at that.
So now you know kind of like how the wheels work, right? You kind of have to move in opposite directions. That's great. Now, let us go ahead and go through this doorway. So I kind of want you to maneuver yourself right up to it. And some people like to lock their wheels right before they open the door, but you don't necessarily have to if you don't want. So this is a push door.
Okay.
So you're going to go ahead, reach out, and kind of push the door open. Maybe try to wheel yourself a little bit forward, and you can go ahead and grab this post right here and pull yourself right on through. Whoop, you might need it. There we go. Great job, Allie.
Wow.
Good job. Okay, you can pause it. All right, Alex, so now that we learned how to turn right and left, we're going to teach you how to get around obstacles.
Okay.
So if you come over here to my friend Ricardo, he's going to act as our obstacle. Because sometimes there might be something in your way that just can't move. So now that we learned how to turn right and left, you can kind of maneuver yourself right at him, just so you won't hit him. You won't hit the chair. It'll keep you and keep you safe. Perfect. So you're using your right and your left turns to get around. Great job. You want to get around that pole as well. Oh, there we go. Wow, such a tight fit and you made it. Great job, Allie.
Very impressive.
And thank you so much, Ricardo. Special guest featuring Ricardo. All right, now we're going to come on over here
It's a loud group of
on this
people.
beautiful day to our downward ramp. All right, now, when you're coming down before you go, I just want you to make sure and that you're controlling your speed. So keep your hands on your rails. Don't let go because we don't want you to go into oncoming traffic, all right?
Okay.
So go real slow. I'm going to be right here just in case anything happens. You're going to be just fine. There we go. Lean forward a little bit to kind of help. There we go. Great job.
Wow.
Nice. Now we're going to go back up the ramp. This time I also want you to lean forward. That's really going to help push your weight up. And if it's too steep, maybe going in a zigzag pattern might help you too. So go ahead and push as hard as you can to get up this ramp. You got it. Amazing job, Allison. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So great. All right. So right now, I'm going to teach you how to descend a curb.
Okay.
Let's say in case the place that you're at does not have a ramp.
Oh,
So I'm going to have you come over here to this blue section of the curb and back up into it. So I'm going to stand right here. Just make sure you're not going to fall or anything like that. All right, so I got you right here. We're going to straighten you out just a little bit, just like this. Actually, let's scoot you over that way just a little bit. There we go. Now back up. Perfect. Great maneuvering.
Thank you.
So now you're right at the edge of the curb.
Okay.
What I want you to do is lean all the way forward.
Okay.
And I'm going to be back here just to ensure that nothing goes wrong.
All right.
And you're going to go ahead and pull back ever so slowly to just control that movement. Your rear wheels are going to hit the ground first. Oh, good.
Woo!
All right. And then pull those caster wheels down. And you are down on the ground. Great job.
Wow.
Okay, so that you can do that if they don't have a descending ramp or anything like that.
Okay.
Now, let's say they don't have an ascending ramp and you need to get up on the sidewalk.
Okay.
Have you ever done a wheelie on this wheelchair?
I'm sure try.
Okay, so you know what it takes, right? You kind of have to pull back a little bit and then push forward.
Okay.
Okay,
And a shot.
so what I want you to do before you try that, the goal is to get these smaller wheels called the caster wheels up on the sidewalk.
Okay.
And I'll be right behind you just in case
Okay.
you need any help or anything. So go ahead. Yes, perfect. So let's try to. Good, good, good. Great job, Allie.
Thank you.
And so, to kind of propel yourself up, I also want you to lean forward and give a big old push. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Good job. Perfect job. Allie, you did so amazing today. You can come back anytime you want. We will help you with this wheelchair if you need any adjustments or anything. But I'm so proud of everything that you've done. And it was so nice to meet you.
Thank you.
All right.